clock down.
All right, welcome to Little Pot That Could. Friend of the program back. You're the first person to make a third appearance on the podcast.
I know, it's great.
Braden Taylor is in the house. First time video though. So now
third appearance.
People can actually see you if they want. Which is pretty cool. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about. I wanted to bring you on because you do have some announcement stuff to talk about music wise, but we haven't talked a ton. So I figured we get caught up because you were talking about you're getting really into tea. I've been a big tea guy for a while. So what got you into tea? Like why did you start? We're both drinking. What are you drinking today? First, let's start there.
I'm drinking the brand is Yogi. It's a detox tea. It's a blackberry acai detox tea.
Okay. And do you need
with a little extra honey?
Do you need to detox?
No, the flavor of this one's just really good. It came in a pack of one. And I was like, it's nice.
And so you go honey. See, I go just straight. I don't put anything else in there. No sweetener. No anything like that. But
I'm trying to get there.
You go a little honey. Yeah, that's good. Honey's better than sugar, right? So
yeah.
I mean, healthier.
I was drinking way too much coffee, and then I would drink coffee at night and stuff, and then I was trying to figure out. I wanted to just start drinking something different, and then we randomly just at our apartment just got a bunch of teas. And then started going
someone
through a bunch
bought
of
them
ones.
Or they dropped out of the sky or
yeah they dropped out. No, we just randomly were grocery shopping and just bought tea for no reason, didn't really drink it before at all.
Okay.
And then now we have this whole spin around thing that has all these different teas in it. And yeah, we've just been collecting a bunch of stuff. Been doing a bunch of I don't know how to what it's necessarily called, but it's the little Japanese glass that you put actual leaves
the loose leaf tea.
Yeah, the loose leaf tea stuff. My brother got me that for Christmas, and then my mom got me one of those big pots that just instantly heats the water.
Okay.
And so we're just keep building on this tea extravaganza going on.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
See, I've never been a coffee drinker. I tried to start drinking coffee when I was in college because everyone was doing it, and I thought that was what you did when you got to be an adult. But I never really felt it gave me more energy. I felt like it just made me pee more. I didn't really like the taste. So I never really drank it, but I got really into tea probably I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, and there used to be a store, a tea store in Washington Square that had a bunch of loose leaf teas that were really good. So, yeah, I'm glad you're getting into tea, man, and it's super good for you too.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is it's good for you, and it feels like it's good for you as you're drinking it.
For sure,
if that makes sense. You you feel better. You're just I'm putting something good into my body, and it feels better than drinking shit where it has a bunch of sugar in it and stuff like that. And you're I know it's not good for me.
For sure. And I've been reading a book about eating better. I've been eating better for the last couple of weeks, and one of the things he was talking about is how the numerous health benefits, both weight loss and just antioxidants and whatnot from drinking tea. So he was a big proponent. I actually just read last night, he said the sweet spot for green tea is 2 to 4 cups a day.
Damn.
I know. I usually do 1.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. I usually do
I
1.
typically drink, we have a dream tea, and I drink that at night. And it's typically that's it. It's kind of go through the day sort of thing. We'll put on a movie or a show, and me, my girlfriend, my roommates and stuff will just drink tea and watch something, and that's our nightly thing. And then I started to recently started to drink it more before studio sessions and stuff like that. So I was I know it's good for your throat too, and the honey can be good for your throat with that stuff. So now it became a morning and night thing. So I'm at 2 cups a day is where I'm at right now. 1 in the morning, 1 at night.
And you said something about you have something that keeps the water hot. What is that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, so it's this. It's on Amazon, and it's It basically, you plug it in the wall and it has like a little burner essentially,
Okay.
and then it's like a pot that goes onto it, and you can fill it up to like it can fill like 4 or 5 cups, and so you fill that up and you flip a switch, and it's got this cool little blue light that goes on, and then it just boils the water for you. So it doesn't like keep it hot, but it boils like at least 4 cups for you if you have multiple people drinking it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's basically, instead of doing it on the stove, or we were doing it in the microwave for the longest time. We were like filling up water in a cup and just heating it up in the microwave. So it does that, but makes just more at a time.
It's like an electric tea kettle. Yeah.
Exactly,
Okay, I knew
exactly
that. I
what
thought
it
you
is.
had some kind of. I thought you were talking about some thing I hadn't heard of. I'm like, wait, what is this? But okay, that makes sense.
No, I just over explained like the most simple. It's an electric tea. It's an electric tea kettle.
Which is weird too, because I don't know why they seem so much more convenient. Maybe they heat the water faster, but isn't that weird? Like, I mean, it does the same thing that you could do on a stovetop, but I do that. I'm like, man, I used to have one of those. Those were really nice. I don't know why, but it does the same exact thing. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a teapot like for the stove.
Okay.
And so it was kind of like either getting that or getting this one, and for some reason it seems way more convenient, and it's the exact same
Yeah,
thing. It just plugs into the wall.
Yes, I don't understand it, but I feel so civilized. We're both drinking tea while we have our conversation.
I know,
We're just
right?
like,
It's crazy.
um,
I kind of feel like this is the pinnacle of it. We made it. Like, this is it.
We
We're
really
sitting here
have.
talking, drinking tea.
we really
like-
have. All right, so what we haven't talked since, like on a podcast about the pandemic, right? So, like, what have you been doing
Yeah.
for the last year, and how did you handle the pandemic, man? Because I mean, some of the stuff we talked about on the previous podcast, we talked a lot about mental health, and I know that there's been a lot of people, myself included, that have, the pandemic is, I think, probably impacted everyone's mental health, regardless of whether they want to, be aware of it or not. But
Right.
tell me about you in the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, for me, for the longest time, it seemed like it really didn't seem like a change for me of like things being closed down and stuff and being locked in. I was just like, okay, like, I mean, I'm a homebodied person a
Me
lot
too.
of the time.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was just like nothing really had changed much. And then, I mean, here in LA, there, it's tough, like with, I guess, not to get caught up in the, like, to just focus on the pandemic itself and like what it's like doing to people and stuff without getting caught up in like the politics of it all and everything. Because it's like, especially here, like everyone, has their opinion on it. It's either oh, it's nothing, move on, like just go outside, live your life and all that stuff, or it's like don't touch your bedroom door to leave your room. You know what I
Or
mean?
you're gonna
Like
kill your
it's
grandma.
like one of two
Yeah.
Yeah, or you're gonna,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like it's a lot of that. So like I haven't really thought about it much because I try and like distance myself from main conversations of it when it comes to that kind of stuff. But for me, like personally, it really hasn't been anything crazy other than I spend more time at home, but I do that anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Me too. Yeah,
know?
my job wasn't affected, and I spent a lot of time alone anyway. So I was like, man, I am built for a pandemic and for quarantine.
right, yeah.
I really feel like I'm one of the few people I know that hasn't had COVID yet. Knock on wood. But and I think a lot of it is like I was social distancing before that was cool. Like.
Right.
So, it is what it is. So, but what have you been doing? Because, like, I know we're going to talk music stuff here in a little bit, but it seemed like to me, like, all of a sudden, like, you've been doing the music stuff for a long time, but then all of a sudden it seemed to, like, get more serious. I was like maybe, I don't know, what was that, 4 or 5 months ago? I feel like all of a sudden you were paying for studio time and working with these top level producers, and I'm like where did this, because you were mostly just before that like self-producing, getting beats, you know what I mean? It was like, so what happened with all that?
I think I just kind of hit a switch of realizing that, because yeah, for the longest time it was, YouTube beats and things like that, and I still, I mean, right before this podcast I had just downloaded 2 beats from YouTube that, I'm recording every day. And so I think with the recording every day, but with surrounding myself around the right people and around people that are in the industry and starting to see like the actual business side of it and stuff, has been an eye opener of, it's not just I'm gonna put a song out. I mean, you can do that. You can just put stuff out every single day. You can do it however you want. But for me, it's like trying to build a career. So it was really sitting back and looking at it and being like, all right, if I want to build this as I want this to be my life, then I need to have a business approach to it and really be smart about how I do it. So I wanted to put a lot of stuff out over the last year, and I had a lot of stuff that I was like, this is ready to be put out. I think it's, it's good enough and all that kind of whatnot. And then I just had a feeling of just like, don't do it yet. Like, it's just, I wanted to, I'm a very impatient person. So like when I got, for the song we're going to go into, it's coming out next week. When I got the master back for that, I was like, I want this to be out right now.
Yeah.
Like, I want to drop this right now. I want to do everything tonight. Like, I don't want to do promotion of all stuff. I just wanted to be there and stuff and whatnot. And like, so for me, it was tough, like having that patience but I'm happy I did, having the patience to wait and do it the right way, because, I actually had this conversation last night with a good friend. You remember that song I put out like a year and a half ago? The Feel You song?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the only song I ever released on a platform.
Yeah.
So that's one of his favorite songs, and he was telling me he wants me to re-release it and stuff. And we were talking about that, and I was like, I'm so happy that for the time that was up, that it didn't blow up, and that it didn't like jumpstart this career thing for me, because I wasn't ready for that. Like, looking back on it now, even talent wise, like my voice has grown so much. I've changed my whole approach to songs, and I'm making different songs and I like different style than I was making a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel more comfortable in this lane that I'm in now of like, I found a sound for me. And when I put that first one out, it definitely, if everything would have hit me at once right there, it would have been a climb and an immediate fucking drop off. I would have just been done.
Okay.
So now I feel like it's at that point where I feel like I've done the planning, I've approached it the right way, I have the sound I want to do, the people I'm working with are amazing, and I just see it just going like this without that fall off.
So, you said you decided you needed to surround yourself with better people and get more of the business side of it. Mm-hmm. Like, how did you do that? Did you do it by paying to have those people, or like, did you meet them, or how did you, because I mean, I'm thinking of like, somebody that's trying to get into the music business, you now have 3 years worth of experience of how to try to crack in to the entertainment industry, maybe more. But, like, what have you found to be, like, how have you been able to find success here as far as, like, getting around people in the industry that are having success?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't, like, when I say, like, surrounding myself around the right people and stuff, I didn't notice it until after the fact. And then being like, wow, I am surrounded by the people I would need to be surrounded about. I think going about it, you can go about it with the way of like, okay, I need to be surrounded by a producer. Eventually I'm going to need a manager. I'm going to need to be around engineers. I'm going to need to be around people who have connections and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Who of my friends know these people? Who are these people? Let me go try and like make that connection with them. Like, you can go that like networking route on that. And a lot of people do. And I mean, it can be a win-win relationship and whatnot. A lot of people get fucked over in those. But, like, for me, it was really, I just got super lucky, man, with, like, building friendships with people that just met randomly. Like, it wasn't even, like, at events or anything like that. Just met randomly through friends on completely non-music or industry shit. Mm-hmm. And those relationships grow, and we stay friends and stuff, and then when I kind of started to hit this like level of confidence and comfortability of like recording and like um, feeling like okay, like I have something to bring to the table, then it just kind of organically worked out of just the people I was around. It was just like, yeah, here's, what could you do on this beat? Or like, oh, your voice might sound good on this hook. Like, let's try and do something,
Mm-hmm.
And then it just turned into building a team from that of
Oh,
people that now I like pretty much only work with.
I mean, but still, I would say taking not just the risk, but like the actual, like physically moving yourself to LA had something to do with that too, because you're putting yourself around more,
Yeah,
creative types and
for
people
sure.
that are in the industry. So, I mean, that had to be part of it
Yeah.
too. Because I think about that too. Like when I was in high school, I really wanted to be on Saturday Night Live, but I never thought like, I never had enough confidence in myself to move to LA or New York. Probably would have had to be New York in that case, but
New
and to
York, yeah.
really take a risk and try to make that happen, you know. And it's not a regret, but I do wish that I had more confidence in my abilities and myself earlier in my life, So that's good, and I think it's cool that you have just like stayed down there and continued to hustle after what you want to do. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean the moving to LA, as you know, originally was strictly for acting.
Hmm.
And I mean I was writing music at the time, and I've written poetry and used to write country songs in middle school. Like I've written music forever, but never like thought about that being that outlet. And I moved down here for acting, and that's what it was. And it was like, yeah, if this is what I want to do, I'm just gonna throw myself in the ring and try and make it happen. And through acting met a lot of people, and then those relationships now, like a guy that shot that's going to shoot a music video for me coming up, met him in acting class, and he also is a videographer. And it was just like, so you build those connections for sure, like being in the industry, like just being at classes and things like that. You're around the people who are in the industry, and you're there.
Yeah.
So definitely physically being here has definitely been. I wouldn't have been able. I don't think I would have been able to do this from Kaiser, Oregon.
Do you want to shout out the videographer that's going to shoot your video?
Yeah, right. I'm gonna shout out a few people in this.
All right. Give it to him right now. Give him
Yeah,
his
you're
free
my
plug.
props. Yeah. Well, I can't.
Oh,
yet.
you can't.
He's building up. He's building up his videography right now, and he's gonna be doing a release of it all and stuff. So I don't want to put anything out there before his release of his thing. And
Do you want to say his name, or is that top secret still too?
No,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
all gonna be.
All right.
It's all under the wire.
Okay. All right. And for people maybe that are seeing you for the first time, I know you get this
Yeah.
question a lot, but that is your natural hair color,
Yes.
and you're not
yeah, for people who
secretly
are seeing me.
65.
Nope, not secretly 65, and I also don't secretly dye my hair every week. I actually just saw someone in my apartment. One of our friends come over, and they just dyed his hair for a photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched like the process of dyeing a hair, and I was like, people really think I fucking do this every week? Like that's crazy, dude. It
Yeah.
takes forever. I was like, I don't have the time or patience for that.
Well, and
No, yeah, this is my natural hair color.
the funny thing is like, what a weird trend. That people are like, oh, I just want to have gray
Yeah.
hair. And, so, but now, like, you look like you're the king of that trend. But it's
I
just
appreciate
genetics.
that. Well, it went from getting made fun of for it before it was popular. Like when I first started going gray in high school, it was like, all the old man jokes and all that stuff coming in, and then it became it just became a trend where people started doing it, and then everyone thought I was dyeing my hair after
Yeah.
that, and I'm like, I can't win.
Yeah, then
I'm
you
in a
got made
lose-lose
fun
on
of there,
that.
like, oh, just jumping on the trend. You got to dye your hair.
And they're like, oh, he's a bandwagon over here chasing the trend train and dyeing his hair and shit.
Then you're like, oh, here's a picture of me from high school, clown. Okay, so yeah, so did you, in the pandemic, man, I'm trying to think. Okay, so how do you start getting more serious? So at some point you're like, okay, I need to make these connections, blah, blah, blah. But then like, what is it where you just decide, okay, I need to get more serious? And then what do you're just like, okay, I need to contact these producers, or did you write a song that you were like, okay, this is so good, I need some extra, like some real professional help, or like what happened?
Um, I mean, it kind of started with like you would think about with anything, right? With like basketball, I guess is an example of someone's like, okay, I really want to like this is what I really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get up and go to the gym every day. You're gonna go shoot 1,000 shots. You're gonna do dribbling drills, all that shit. So for me, it was all right. Like I think I believe I have this talent and the ability to use words and to write things and use words in a creative way. But it's really raw, and if I really want this to be like a career and thing, then I need to own in on that and really dive into it. So it really just turned into practice every day of writing and recording every day and doing different things with my voice and finding different levels of comfort and stuff and pushing it past those levels. And so that's kind of where it started of like, okay, this is becoming a real thing because I'm treating it like it's like this is a real thing and not just a hobby. And then to the connections with people and stuff, like I just got like I said, I just got super lucky on that. My roommate, he's a manager, and one of his friends from Seattle who's a producer moved down here, and like just a few months ago, and right when he moved down, they built a studio, and it was like, yo, like how much for a session? You know, because like I know my roommate manages the studio, so I was like, how much would he charge me for a session? Like I want to work with other people outside of this. And then went there and, you know, scheduled a session with him. And then we kind of developed this connection of like, we're like, damn, we work really well together. And so that's kind of where like that started. And then even at like another producer that has worked on some songs with me too, he's it's crazy because I used to freestyle to his YouTube beats in high school.
Oh, wow.
All the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like it was so nuts. It was so nuts because then when I met him, I didn't know, and when he said his name, when he said LASIK, I was like, I know that like name from somewhere, and it was the tagline on his YouTube beats on the LASIK beats, and I was like,
wow,
holy shit! And then my roommate was like, yeah, he used to be huge on YouTube. He used to make beats on YouTube and stuff like that, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. And then he came to some sessions and stuff, and he just such a talented person, like just comes in and instantly hears the song, and he's like, what if we try this on here with the beat? And like he got up, played the ukulele throughout the whole entire track, and like that ended up being in the song and was like the whole thing. It was just nuts. So it just came from, I think once you're in that room with people, of building, it just comes from building a genuine connection with them, and really like, I mean, I talk to them about shit all the time that's not music related, you know, like they're just homies, and when we go to work, we get down to work, and that's what we do. So
when I've heard,
I got lucky.
I've heard other artists talk about how much when they find a producer that they're comfortable with, how much it improves their process. Have you noticed that too?
Oh yeah.
And if so, like, what is there anything that you can say? Yeah, this has definitely gotten easier or better, or how does that?
It's night and day, like difference of. For me, with Kenzie, which is the producer who produced Sacrifices, with him, it's the process of coming up with a hook, or the process of like, because for me with YouTube beats and stuff that I was doing before, because I don't make beats and I don't produce, and that's something I'm trying to get into, but for me with those, it's like if I hear something that I want to do something with the hook, but the beat like just needs to be a little bit different, I can't edit that and change that, you know? So for me, it's like, this is a template of what you have to write to, and like this is the beat you're working with.
Yeah.
And with Kenzie, it's crazy to where, since I don't know how to like produce and stuff, to where I can't explain it to him in like technical terms. But he's sitting there, I call him the key master, the master of the keys, because I've never seen anyone play the keys like him before. But he'll be sitting there on his keys, and I'll be like, yeah, this part right here, I feel like if I were to do this, and like trying to explain something to him, and he just starts playing as I'm talking, and just doing trying different notes and doing different things as I'm talking, and then he hits that one, I'm like, that's it right there, like that's the one I'm looking for, and he goes, okay, now watch this, what I do with this right here, and then turns that one thing into a completely different sound that just sparks the motor of like your original thought now expanded on into this whole thing. It's crazy.
Okay. Because I did notice, I mean, obviously I'm not cool enough to get an advanced copy of the song.
I sent it to you.
I mean, you did. You did now.
You.
You did now. But I'm saying, like, you made this big announcement. I couldn't even get, like, a press release of what the announcement was, But I did feel like from listening to the clip, I was like, it was weird because I always thought, you'd send me stuff, I'm like, okay, this is good. And the difference between what you were doing then and now, it's not like, oh, man, it's so much better now. Like, it's like... But there is a difference, and it's noticeable. You know what I mean? Like, now, this song, I'm like, okay, this sounds like something that would be on the radio, right? Where before, the stuff was, like, good, but there's something with I don't know if it's the production or the post-production or what, but it's like, and it's super, like, I can't even describe it because it's not, like I said, this major difference. But you can just tell that it's almost like it's almost like having a contractor build onto your house versus you doing it yourself. You know what I mean? Like the structure might look the same, but it was built. It just seems. I guess what I'm trying to say is the clip I heard sounded more like professionals had been working with it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a professionalism aspect to it, and I think that's the great thing about just working with talented people in general, but also like having that like connection that we were talking about with the producer when you're working with them and that's something that he's made easier for me of like you said before, like, I have a bunch of songs that are like songs and whatnot and they're good, but like it doesn't give off that mood, that impact of like, oh, I could definitely this on the radio for sure. And that's because for me there had always been a disconnect with structure of building the song the right way. And it's crazy because I say like the right way, but also like songs can be built in an infinite amount of ways and it be the right way. So it's more of like building with what that beat is or what that song is or the tone of that song and the sound. And that just kind of developed into that to where it's like when you're working with that high level of professional people and you're bringing everything you can to it, it's going to come out with a better product than you not knowing where to go and not having direction with what you're working on.
What would you say the biggest thing you've learned is from working with these pros?
That I would say that even if you think something is a bad idea or like wouldn't sound good, to try it and to try it with full effort and not half-assing it. I mean, there's so many times where I've been making things where I was like, yeah, it would be cool if I could do this with my voice and like make this sound like this, but also I don't think it would really fit in here and stuff. But like working with these people and stuff, it's like, oh, you have an idea, fucking try it. Like any idea. It's that saying of like, no question's a bad question. It's like no idea is a bad idea until you try it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, yeah, that doesn't fit, that doesn't work. But like some of the dopest parts of the songs that we've been making recently have been, let me just see if this will work here. And then trying it and then being like, oh shit, we can, and it changes the whole thing. The whole dynamic of it.
Now,
I think really just stepping out of the comfort zone.
Can you plug these producers, or are they like Voldemort too, and they can't be named?
No, yeah. So Sacrifices will be the first single.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Yeah, let's start there. So you have a new song coming out, a new single for this Friday, and the pod is the pod is probably going to drop after the fact, right? You want the Okay, so hopefully.
Yeah, so for people listening, you'll hear this. You will have heard the song. So
and if not, pause the pod and go listen to the song and then come back. So, but
If you haven't heard it yet, go stream it 10 times, send it to 50 people,
yes.
have them stream it 10 times, and then come back to the pod.
Yeah, the crazy thing is people like Justin Bieber does that too, where he tries to manipulate the algorithm, tells all his fans like listen to it on repeat. It's crazy. Like, you're Justin Bieber, you don't need to do that. But okay.
Nah.
Yeah, we definitely should be streaming the song. But okay, and it's on all the platforms, right? It'll be on Spotify,
Yep.
Apple Music, all of that.
Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube, SoundCloud, literally everything is going to be Tidal. It'll be everywhere.
Okay, and the song is called Sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the song about? What's the origin of it? Where'd it come from?
Yeah, so I was on my way to the studio. Well, right before that, it wasn't a planned studio session. The producer texted me and said, hey, someone fell through today, like I have this time or whatever. And I had told my girlfriend that we were going to have a movie night and made plans with her. And when he texted me that, it's one of those things where it's just like, I got to go. You know, like I just have to. And she's totally supportive and cool about it and everything. And, you know, she's like, yeah, of course, go kill it. Like, let me know how it goes and all that. So I'm driving over there, and as I'm driving, I just started to like feel like almost a guilty feeling of just like, damn, like I feel bad, you know? Like I know that this has to come first before a lot of things in my life, and like with the direction I'm going with this, like this is the number one priority for me. But I still felt that bad feeling of just feeling bad for. And then I started thinking about like all the times that I have studio sessions, or that I'm sitting here on my computer watching YouTube videos for hours and hours and hours on how to balance an EQ properly, how to work with compressors, like all this shit. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, damn, like she really sacrifices a lot of time and energy that I give into this that isn't to her, or also with like family. Then it started like, I started kind of spiraling a little bit from that, like having anxiety on the way over there, where I was like, damn, like I haven't talked to my dad in 2 weeks. I didn't call my mom back today. I didn't text my brother back today. Like, and it was just kind of one of those things of like I make a lot of sacrifices for this career, and I sacrifice a lot of things and a lot of time myself, but everyone around me does then as well. And so when I went in, when I got there and went in the studio, you know, I kind of told him I had this idea. And I wanted it to be, I kind of went in with it being like a darker, slow kind of song, and like getting really deep on it. And then he was like, well, I had something that just popped in my head that I'm playing on or whatever. And he just started playing the keys and played like a little hook. And the song is, you know, the complete opposite of like slow and sad and darkness. It's an upbeat kind of radio type song. And it still ended up working, where it was like, it's one of those things where like the song makes you feel good, but also the things talking about it that I'm talking about in the song are not necessarily like positive things, but you still somehow feel good about the song. Which is sometimes
a cool artist trick when you're talking about something really sad, but it's like the music doesn't match that. It's almost like, whoa, it's so. Is that kind of how this what you see with this song?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's kind of exactly the beat and the music, the production of it is definitely like a good feeling when you listen to it. You kind of feel up. You're like, I could be driving in the car, listening to it, sunny day, driving to Malibu kind of thing, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, it like makes you feel like that.
And so, are you planning on? Is there more music coming? Are you doing it like EP or album? Like, what's happening next?
Yeah, so I have right now I have four singles that are lined up with release dates and plans for coming up.
And are they recorded and finished and everything? You're just
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, got those done and everything, and so I think the plan right now is, and you know, plans can always change. It might turn to, all right, I'm going to put all this into a project and drop an album. But as of right now, the plan is just releasing a couple, get a couple singles out there, 3 or 4 of them, and then from there, I might keep going the single route for a while, because when I do a project, I want it to be a full body of work,
Yeah.
and that takes a lot of time, and it takes to tell a story from start to finish of 12 tracks, and to have it be like, this is, I have a bunch of songs that I'm like, yeah, I could put this together and just put out an album, but I want the album to be something specific.
Yeah, and it seems like I mean, obviously as an outsider, I'm just looking, but it seems like the idea of dropping full albums isn't necessarily, because it used to be that's how you would release music. You'd put out an album,
Right.
I would go to Tower Records and buy it. If it was Gin and Juice and we were in middle school, I was the only one that could buy. I looked old enough and could buy it for my friends.
Yep.
But it seems, I feel like now, I mean, even with stuff like TikTok, people are making singles with 20
It's
seconds
crazy.
that they're hoping will just go viral and become one of the sounds people use on TikTok. I mean, it's like you don't even need to make a full
it's
song
crazy.
anymore. You could make
No.
a hard 20 seconds
Don't.
and people are like, "Oh, what is that song?" You know what I mean? It's just, but it seems like, like even like with WAP, it was this huge trend on TikTok and then became this mainstream thing. I don't even know if it was tied to an album or if that was just a random single that came out.
I'm pretty sure WAP was a single after the first time I listened to it, and not to hate on any artist or anything like that, but after the first time I was like, I just can't.
Yeah,
I can't
well, and I mean,
yeah, I can't.
it's interesting because I have heard that, artists are starting to make music geared towards trying to become TikTok viral. But
Right.
so is the music industry changing? Like, how are people even are they monetizing off of the streams, or what's like, how would that even, like, how is this going to work? Like, how are you going to be able to make a living as an artist? How does that happen now?
Yeah, I mean, that's like with what you're saying. It really is shifting. There's people who have one song released, just one song in their whole category, and it went viral, and they're making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars off that one song, and they're making a living off that for
Okay.
now. It's crazy.
And so they're not even
how-
having to tour. It's just the fact that kids are
Yeah,
dancing
it's
to
just-
the audio on TikTok and they're making money off of that. Okay.
Yeah, and for that, I mean, it has to hit
Stupid viral.
crazy
yeah.
amount of like has to be insanely viral, so like that's less common, I guess. But if you make 5 songs for TikTok and all 5 of them hit some sort of like level of viral, you're not going to make a career off it or anything, but you're going to make enough money for a little bit, that's going to keep you all right.
Well, and it's got to be
So-
the exposure too, right? Like I'm not hating on that at
Right.
all. Like I mean, it does seem like the smart, like Lil Nas X, like that's a Old Country Road. That's a perfect example of a guy who gamed the system to get his song a ton of attention, and so
Yeah.
I'm not hating on that at all. I'm just saying it's interesting how
yeah,
that
I
shifts.
mean, it's-
And then I guess what I'm interested for you is like, how does that, because you don't really, as an artist, you don't want to be in your head like, oh, this would be a sick 20 seconds for TikTok. But at the same time, it's like, if you were smart,
You're like, oh shit.
yeah, you'd be
would
like,
do it.
where's my 20 seconds that, people are going to want to dance to? So
Yep.
do that stupid little, I can't, but like so how does that factor into you creating it all, or that's
Yeah, not really for me. I mean, it doesn't change my creative process at all or anything. I still, as we're building the beat and building the song and doing everything, it's like that's gonna stay the same for me. I'm not gonna be like, oh, but we could do this drop off here kind of thing, and I could just say these lines, and if the beat was crazy enough throughout this, that could easily be danced to. Like, it's never something that like pops in my head. But then, like, after the fact of with Sacrifices, and then the single that's coming after that, after like the song's been made and listening to it, I'm like, damn, there could be like a piece of this that could go to like a little dance video thing and see what it does. You know what I mean? And so that's more of like a marketing part to it. And for me, keeping the creativity and the product that you're making separate from the marketing. It's weird because it has to be tied in.
Yeah.
But it also, like, because you have to market however you can, but it also, like, I don't want it to affect, I guess, the authenticity of the song.
That's kind of what I was getting
you know?
at. You know, it's like you don't want to be in the booth like, oh, this is sick. This is where they'll do the dice roll. You know, and here's
Yeah, but I don't hate on people
No.
do that though, because if you think about it, if they're like, I guess it depends on what you want. You know what I mean? So if people are like, I want a viral song and I want to become an influencer from this, or I would love to perform this song and have this, be for however long it can last sort of thing, or then I could build from it. Like, it's just people's approach to it. And there's people that are really, really good at making those catchy things, where it's just making those songs that could go viral. Like, why would you not? You know, if that's what you want and that's the direction you're going, like, then and you should be taking advantage of what platforms like TikTok, especially right now, is offering to those people.
Yeah, I guess I'm just
nuts.
more curious to know like how you navigated it. You know, like, do you see a spot where? So you're kind of saying after you make the music, then you'll try to see if you can find a way for it to fit into the TikTok stratosphere.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, the music is the most important thing, and as much as, like, I approach it as a career and on the business side of it, at the same time, it's my outlet, and it's what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's what I have to do. And so, because if I stopped right now making music, like, I would drive myself absolutely crazy. So for me, the music's the most important part to it, and making sure that is authentic and it's me. And if that turns into a song, if there's a song in that does end up being something that can work like that, then it does. And if it doesn't, then, other marketing streams and other things is the way that I'm gonna have to go with it. But yeah, I guess I just don't approach it as in, like, how can I make something pop off and not put me instantly here, because then you got to play catch up. If it's something that you want is like an actual career, and like it's your livelihood, and that goes to here, and you have no catalog behind that, no other songs, nothing for people to listen to and be like, oh yeah, this is fire, let me see what else he has, and there's nothing there. But then 5 months, so then you're like, okay, I got to make more songs, and then 5 months later, half those people aren't going to be interested anymore because there's a new song on TikTok. There's a new dance. There's a new thing. So it's like...
Well, not even 5 months. I mean, that stuff... I was watching some TikTok rewinds, and I mean, they had a new song for every month. There was, a trend.
Yeah, so, I saw one, yeah.
I mean, it happens so fast now. And, I was kind of interested because it does seem like TikTok is becoming this force. I mean, that's where the majority of attention for people under 20 is at, and those are the people that are influencing pop culture and music. So I was just curious to know like how you're navigating that now. With you said you have 4 singles ready to go, do you have like release dates you can talk about, or is that still under wraps too, or how?
I will say sorry, I bumped the mic and can you still hear me all right over there?
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay, I bumped the mic maybe a little bit. I will say that the second single will be coming in February.
Okay.
And I won't give the date on that one yet. There are a couple factors that depend on that day too, so it might change, and that's why I don't want to give a date. But my goal right now is to consistently be putting out music. So for 2021, I guess I would say don't expect for me to drop a single and then not hear from me for 3 to 4 months. It's going to be a rapid fire thing of I have a lot of stuff that I'm ready to drop, but I'm definitely going to, take my time with it still and do it the right way. But it's going to be a consistent thing throughout the year. So
okay. Maybe you could do one a month, then at the end of the year you'd have 12 tracks, you could call it 2021. Dang.
Damn!
Okay. Yeah, I like it. So where should people be looking for, like, because if they're interested, they're like, oh yeah, they listen to the first song and they're like, okay, that's cool. Where do they find it? Where do they keep in touch? Where are they going to be able to hear about the new stuff coming out? Tell me about all that.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much I mostly everything's gonna be ran through my Instagram. I did finally create a Twitter. I used to have one a long time ago, but I haven't been on Twitter in years. But I have one there too, where I'll be posting updates on everything.
And we'll link them in the
but
show
as far
notes. But
as,
what
like,
are those? What are the handles for those?
Oh yeah, it's just official Beahr for everything.
Spelled.
It's spelled Beahr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
For both.
that'll be for everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a TikTok?
Yeah. I don't have a TikTok.
Okay.
I'm on it, and I watch a bunch of cat videos. My TikTok feed is full of cat videos, 24/7. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's one that I'm on the fence about. That I don't know if I'm going to dive into it. I do know that my music will be on TikTok.
Okay.
But I don't know if I will have my own page, I guess I'd say.
Okay. I would say it would be a good thing, and I think it'd be cool to do. Yeah, I know you knew I'd say that, but I think it'd be cool to do like behind the scenes stuff, recording stuff, clips, all of that on there so people can follow along with the journey, document, don't create Gary V stuff. So
right. So I will say there's a lot of that going on. And I will be posting like snippets of things. But the goal behind it is for when it does get to that point that I'm touring the world and things like that, it's that there will be, I guess you would say, like a mini like documentary movie thing of everything that we're doing, all the behind the scenes things that people want to see and don't necessarily get the insight on and stuff.
Right.
That's all being documented, and that's all coming, and there's going to be snippets of all that too for people to to be able to
that's what
see
I'm saying.
The journey along the way.
Especially if you're already getting it, like why not take 10 seconds of it and put it on
put it on TikTok.
Yeah. Because, I mean, to me, I just, it's Gary V 101, go where the attention is.
Yeah.
And the attention that you want is not, I mean, there's still, Facebook is this massive platform, but that's not, my mom's not going to listen to your music. She may, after she watches the podcast, she may check out one song, but it's probably not going to be her cup of tea. But the people that are going to like your music, they're on TikTok.
That actually will be also the one platform that you won't find me on. I don't have a music page on Facebook. I don't have a personal Facebook.
Yeah.
And I don't plan on creating one for that either. So that will be like the one place where I guess people won't find it is Facebook.
Yeah. Just because you hate Mark Zuckerberg.
Dude's a lizard. No, I didn't say it. No, I just I deleted my personal Facebook a long time ago, and I instantly started feeling better about myself after that.
Well,
and
no, I mean it really for what you're trying to do, it makes no sense. Like the audience on Facebook is not your intended audience, so you're not missing much there. But I do think we're getting off track, but I do think you need to go hard on TikTok. I really do.
Yeah, I might have to. It's crazy because when I know I say this every time, but the craziest thing is every time I see Gary V on Instagram too. And if you don't follow Gary V, I highly suggest you do.
It's the best.
Like you have to. And every time I listen to his videos or watch them, I instantly start to say what I'm about to say here, and I hear you and I hear Gary V both saying, "You say this every fucking time."
It's true. It's true, especially because you're doing stuff that actually hits on TikTok. Like it's what TikTok is looking for. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just crazy that you don't. But anyway, okay, so Sacrifices comes out. The date.
Hmm.
Give me the date of that Friday. Is it the 19th or
The
something? 20,
the 22nd.
22nd. Okay.
Yeah, January
On
22nd.
all platforms. And if they want to see more of you, Instagram, Twitter ish, are you actually posting on Twitter or is it?
Um, for Twitter, it's going to be mainly like announcement things. Of
Okay.
if I post like an announcement on Instagram, it's going to be on Twitter. But I'm also um, pretty good at responding to things as well too. So if you hear it and there's questions, or I try and do that with my story a lot of questions and things like that, where I love interacting with fans of the music, and so either Instagram, Twitter, however you do that, I have notifications on it all, so I do my best to respond to everyone and to keep that going as well.
And you said there's a video coming for Sacrifices. Does that? Do you have a YouTube channel or where is that gonna live? IGTV.
So the video, as of right now, Sacrifices doesn't have a music video. The video that's gonna be coming is for the second single.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, but there is gonna be on Instagram. There's gonna be coming up in this next week before the release of the song. There's gonna be some clips and stuff dropped on Instagram as well.
Okay.
Of some behind the scenes things of Sacrifices and everything like that.
Okay. So people should. It's tough because like, oh, people should go check it out, but they won't hear this until after the song's been out anyway. So they can preemptively
Yeah.
go back and.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. I was about to say, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, the pre-save link is in my bio if you want pre-save on Spotify. But this is gonna come out after the song comes out, so I guess the link is gonna be in my bio where you can just go stream it.
Now, is it one of those things like on you said pre-saving? So if I go there after the fact, I listen to the song, I can like follow you as an artist. Does that help?
Yeah.
Because it's like I know like,
Yes.
if people subscribe to the podcast, and leave a review, that stuff helps more people see it. Is that the same for what happens on your artist page?
Yeah, I mean the littlest things go a long way. So I would say if you like the music and if you want to hear more, would definitely appreciate a follow. Save the song if you download the song. If you have a playlist that you like create yourself of things that you listen to and put, everyone has like their happy playlist or when I'm driving in the car, things like that. Saving a song to any playlist and downloading it and following the artist, like every little thing helps with all the analytics of Spotify. So it definitely is very beneficial for that.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else I missed, or anything else that we forgot to talk about?
That's a good question.
I know.
I've just been having fun in the conversation.
Yeah,
so
for
I haven't
sure.
even been thinking about like,
For sure.
oh, I should talk about this or I should talk about that.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we've covered a lot. Like, we've got more
Yeah.
stuff's coming out. We've got stuff is dropping Friday. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to make sure that we covered everything. Now, what we could talk, because your girlfriend actually, you were talking about Sacrifices, and I was thinking, like, part of the reason she's probably so understanding is that she also is in the entertainment industry, and she's had some pretty big, like, success, right? Like, maybe
Yeah,
talk a little bit about what she does and what she's been in, and she was just in a movie or something, right?
She just had a movie come out 2020. It's called Switched.
Switched, ED.
Yeah,
Okay.
with ED at the end. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I tried to like switch.
Okay, yeah.
You can find it. You can find that on Amazon. It's the message behind the movie is amazing. And she was the lead in that. She's an actress, and the people that made that movie too, Alexandra and John that worked on that are just phenomenal people, and the project as a whole was awesome.
Is it a full-length feature?
Yeah, yep, it's a full-length feature.
Okay. And it's on
it's definitely
Amazon Prime, or you have to rent it, or how?
I believe you rent it through Amazon.
Okay.
I believe it's on for rent.
So then
but
you-
I would say for people who are listening to this, if you have little brothers or sisters, or if it's parents that are listening to this too, and you have children, it's definitely something that I would have young teens watch. About how the message of the whole thing is loving people and treating people with respect and being a kind person, and it deals with the struggles of high school with that. And I think it's something that, we see things like 13 Reasons Why, and we see all this dark drama stuff with high school films. And this is one that's really the opposite message of that. And I think it's something that young teens and stuff should definitely listen to and watch.
Okay, so it's probably on iTunes too if you can rent.
Yeah,
you can rent it. Okay.
It's and I can send you. I know it's on other things too. I just don't want to say, oh, it's on this and then it's not.
Yeah.
Because for me, I bought it on Amazon and just watched it there.
Okay.
But I can get you that list of things it's on.
Yeah, we can put that in the show notes too. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, what you were saying to that, she definitely, her being in the industry has been something that benefits both of us very well in the relationship.
And what's her Instagram?
Her Instagram is just Maya Horcher.
Okay, spell.
It's her first. I believe that's her.
Dave's got to look real quick. How do you spell that?
I just want to make sure she doesn't have like an underscore in there. No, I know how to spell it. Yeah, it's MIYAGHORCHER.
Okay.
See, I knew it's Maya G. Horcher.
Sure. And we can link that too. I'll get all the links and we'll put all that stuff in the show notes. But sometimes the show notes are an extra. You got to go back to, where if we just shout it out and people are like, okay, and they can type it in and find it. There. Okay.
But yeah, on that point, it's like, she, with her auditions and everything, she might book something tomorrow that sends her to a different state for 6 months or to a different country and things like that. And I think for people who aren't in the industry, it's like you have an understanding of it, but you don't really understand what that means in a sense of, like, for me, going to a studio session multiple times a week, and then when I come home, working on music, and I leave, work on music and stuff. Like, so there's so much time that, like, in people who aren't in an industry and working on this stuff that, like, that you, not saying is taken for granted, but, like, don't take that time for granted, I guess. And because those are the things that, like, those miss in industry relationships. And so you have to find other ways and things to have those moments and to work on that relationship aspect of it. But when you're both at that same level of understanding and trying to do the same thing, it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, you got to spend 2 hours going over this script, and I want to hang out with you, or I want to watch a movie or something like that. Like, that comes first. I get it. So it definitely is something that works out well for us.
How much time a day would you think that you're spending on music stuff? On average.
It's such a, like, on average, I guess I would have to break it down, because it's like, when I have a studio session, it's like when I go to the studio, it's a minimum of 6 hours that I do. So it's anywhere from 6 to 12 hours in that, and that might be once a week, that might be 3 times a week. When I'm at home and working on stuff, it's like, it depends on, like, today, for example. I got up today and, got ready for this podcast and everything. And a couple hours before this, I was like, damn, I want to get some hooks down. I really want to work on this. But a lot of the time when I'm at home, I like to not be working on music and taking time to, like, I mean, I play a lot of Warzone and stuff. That's kind of a thing that just stimulates my brain of just, like, something other than productivity, which it's like counterproductive, but it's also, like, necessary for me to take that time out.
I tried to play Warzone. I was going hard on Call of Duty back in, like, Modern Warfare, like the first Modern Warfare. I think it was Call of Duty 4. I went hard there in that era. It was a lot of Halo 2, a lot of Modern Warfare. Then World at War came out. We went on that, and then it just got too complicated. I dropped out. So anyway, I decided to try to enter back into the water in Warzone. I've been watching David Dobrik stream. I was like, yeah, they were playing zombies once. That's what really got me. I was like, oh my gosh, I remember how much fun I used to have with my friends. So I was like, all right, and I tried it. And first of all, like, I have a bunch of friends that play. None of them ever want to play because I think they know how horrible I am. But it's like, Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Everything moves so fast. I don't know if it's because I just haven't been playing, but it seems like everything's moving faster than when I was playing before.
Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of video games, and I always have. So I guess it doesn't move like that way for me, but because I'm used to it.
Uh huh.
But I definitely see the struggle, and like my girl wants me to teach her how to play Call of Duty so she can play with me.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that, like, yeah, that would be super sick, and that would be something fun for us to do together, but also, like, trying to explain movement and trying to explain, like, different things of it is so much harder when it's like someone who doesn't play video games or haven't played video games in a long time.
Yeah,
because a
see,
lot of it's just muscle memory, like.
and that's what I thought too. I was like, well, I played. I mean, I've logged a fair amount of hours playing Call of Duty, but it's like, I don't know. I felt like a baby deer walking around on ice. I was like, I really am not good at this, and it's hard because I feel like I could get better if you and I played, and you're like, all right, let me give you some tips. Blah, blah. I feel like I could probably get better faster than, because you're right, some of it would come back, and I was like able to switch weapons and everything like was happening. Like, oh, okay, I remember how to do. I didn't have to be like, how does this happen? I remembered most of it, but it's weird because I also don't want to be like, yeah, let's jump in some 4-on-4, and it's like I just know I'm going to be terrible, and then I'm like, what the hell is this gulag? And like I was so confused about what was going on, and I'm like, wait, you like parachute in, but then the game starts and you parachute in again. I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? I'm like, so I was so confused about what was going on and what was happening, and it was just, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I mean, we're nice on the sticks over here.
Yeah?
I got my little squad that we run with, and I actually think we were talking about streaming stuff before the podcast.
Yeah.
When we were on.
Yeah.
And that was something that I thought about. After some of the songs come out and stuff and whatnot. Would be another way to interact with fans.
Mm-hmm.
So I might set the stream back up and set up one like under, as an artist and stream and be able to interact with people there.
Well, and I think, because everyone's pissed that David Dobrik's not making vlogs right now, but I mean, he's playing a ton of Call of Duty and streaming it, and I think that's kind of been it's interesting because I've found myself moving to that. Like, it's like, oh, he's not making vlogs, but like I'll still watch him and stream in the background while I'm like doing whatever. So it is smart, like, I mean, I think it gives you like another, and it's weird because you're like, oh, I want to see if this guy's any good at video games. It's like this person that you're interested in their content, and then you're like, well, let's see, can they game?
I saw that with Odell Beckham Jr. is crazy good at Call of Duty.
Huh. Interesting.
Like crazy good, and I wouldn't expect it.
Yeah.
He's nice.
All right, so when are you gonna help me get better at Call of Duty?
We're gonna have to take out some hours to do that. What do I got going on? I don't know if I'll even be playing much Call of Duty this week at all.
Look at already backpedaling, dude. Already backpedaling.
No.
It's fine.
I'm saying, well, let's do it. Let's plan for after this pod comes out.
Okay.
Then we'll address it because this next week is gonna be crazy busy. Where I don't even think I'll take that time out. Like I've been in go mode for 3 days now of like not relaxing really and taking time. It's just been thinking about the next thing and trying to get this put in place and this put in place and working on everything. So I definitely, after this single comes out, I'm gonna have to take a few days off to like just kind of reset myself so there's still the fun creative part in the music stuff,
Right.
So it's not just business. So after I focus on the business part for a while, I like to take like that little time to just decompress and drink my detox teas and go through that, and then it's like, all right back to it the next day.
Okay. All right. Well,
so
we'll see.
Once this pod comes out,
okay.
I'll see. Are you on Xbox
yeah.
or PlayStation?
Yeah, I'm on Xbox.
All right, so at least we can be in the same party and don't have to do game chat. That's better.
Okay.
That's already a little better.
All right. Yeah, see, even that stuff, like, I was like, they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to get on Discord. And I'm like, wait a minute. why don't we just get in a party and like, isn't that like the thing? That's what happened. Like my buddies and I used to just get in a chat and we'd be able to like talk in the game. What the hell? Why do we have to get on Discord?
I think that's how most people play. I think the streamers and stuff do Discord.
Yes,
because
100%.
Like their
it
separates their chat.
It's just
from
like
them
more. I
talking,
couldn't
and
get.
then
I had to go
talk
buy a
them.
headset because I didn't have a mic. It was just a mess, dude. I'm like, what is happening right now?
It's a lot, man. People don't understand. Video games is
They've evolved.
it's a
They've
huge
definitely.
thing.
I
It's
felt
evolved.
like Clyde Drexler playing in 2020. I was like, what is happening right now? Like I used to be okay at this game. Why am I? What's that? I don't even know where I am right now. Like I died parachuting
Why is
in.
everyone this athletic?
Yes, exactly. I was like, I'm like trying to get in, trying to navigate the parachute. I saw David Dobrik like cuts it, so he gets down there faster. I tried to do that first time, bam, dead. I'm like, all right, well now I've been captured and I'm in something called a gulag. What's happening here? And then I somehow won that, and then I got out and I was like, okay, so I'm back in the game now, and then I died. So
Where am I?
the struggle is real for sure. So
They get intense, man. It gets intense. There's definitely been some nights here where we party a little too hard while we play, and then it turns into some intense stuff. But
see, and that's where I don't really want to be on anybody's team because I know they'll be like, "Who that guy is terrible. Who is that guy?" I'm like, "Listen, it's the third time I played. Back off." But anyway.
yeah, you gotta put some hours into the battle royales. You gotta put some hours. Into
See,
them.
okay, but I do, and then I died. I wouldn't say hours. I played a couple games. I just was dying over and over, and I was like, yeah, okay, I don't know this is not making me any better. I have no idea what's happening. So
Yeah. Oh, I do want to touch on one other thing
Yeah.
actually that I just thought of when I said that we party a little too hard sometimes
Yeah.
when we play. I am was today the 16th. So I'm 16 days into dry January.
okay, all right.
I have not drank in 16 days. By the time this pod comes out on Saturday, I hope I can still say the same. It's gonna be hard. It sucks because I thought about, damn, I'm gonna want to take a shot when I drop the song.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait for February 1st. But
So did you just decide to go dry January, or what happened there?
yeah, it was really just like trying to get back in shape, and with gyms being closed here and stuff, it's been tough. But home workouts and things like that, and I was like, a big part of it is probably, the level of alcohol being consumed and
Yeah.
whatnot. And so I was like, I'm just going to take a month of, so I guess it is good I'm drinking the detox tea right now.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, I'm going to take a month of detoxing out alcohol and just kind of chilling for a little bit. And then
Did you know that
we'll see where it goes from there.
gyms are mandatorily closed only in 2 states, California and Oregon?
For real? We're the
Yeah.
only two?
Yeah.
I actually saw though San Diego has like an outside gym going on right now.
Yeah.
And then I just saw a video on Instagram on someone's story that lives here in LA that he was working out in a gym, and it looked like an LA Fitness or 24-hour Fitness. So I'm hoping that means that they're opening back up, because we have a gym at our apartment complex that's really nice. But since we moved in during the pandemic, we haven't been able to use it one fucking time. And I'm just like, it's right there. It's so nice. I just want to work out it, and they won't open it. And I'm like,
Did you know the courthouse is
crazy.
defying the order? The courthouse is an athletic club up here in Salem, for people that don't know. They're staying open. Did you know that?
yeah, I heard about that. And then friend Adam and Gabe, they play basketball a lot at the courthouse. And they, like, last couple of days stuff, they're like, yeah, we're going to hoop. We're going to the courthouse. And I was like, damn, the courthouse is still open? That's awesome, though. I think every gym should do that.
Yeah.
I think every gym should just put up a big middle finger and say, fuck you, sue us, do what you want to do, but we're not closed.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with a lot of that too, especially with the restaurants and all that stuff too, because to me, I'm like, show me the evidence that this is, spreading at these places. And if you can, then yeah, that makes sense. But like, I saw the president of the courthouse make a statement. He was saying, how is it that my workers are somehow in danger, but, the people at Home Depot and, the grocery store,
Right.
or, and it's true. I mean, it just seems like such a ridiculous, like they don't have any real reason to be banning these things. So anyway.
Statistics and reason. Yeah. With those things, though, I mean, like, yeah, be smart, be safe,
Yeah,
wipe down
for sure,
equipment,
for sure.
like, be courteous to others, wear your mask, like, do all that stuff.
Right.
But, like, you can do all that stuff and still have somewhere operate. Like,
100% agree. Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay, cool. Well, I appreciate it, man, and I'm excited for new music to be coming out consistently, and excited to see where everything goes.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me on. This video thing, too, is crazy. It's the first time we've been able to do this, so that's tight. I like it a lot. And, yeah, I appreciate being able to come back on for a third time. I'm like a veteran in here when you bring other people on.
You really are.
Yeah, you can come on the pod and everything, but like Braden's been on 3 times.
I
so,
mean, and now it's
kind of like
it's just old
like
hand.
he runs this shit.
We just press record and go. There's nothing else you need to do. It's just easy now.
Yeah, we just flow through it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, make sure when you go to sleep that you put your Spotify on repeat and repeat that song.
There we go. Hey, that's it. So,
hey, if Beahr can say it, can I say
100%,
it? Like,
dude. He didn't even just say
Bieber's
it.
Here.
He put it out on his social media, dude. He's got like millions and millions of followers. It's not fair, dude.
Right. So let me get some help. Put it on repeat. Turn your volume down to 1 and go to sleep and let that shit play for hours.
And just let it go. Just let it go.
And let it go.
I like it.
And then wake up and start your day with it, man.
All right. I stopped the recording. Yeah, that was good, dude.